Yo, what's going on, everybody? So today I'm gonna do a quick video. Well, it's probably not gonna be a quick video. Actually, I want to give you guys an update, a little review on the F800gs and the mods that I've added to the bike. So I'm gonna ride to the place that I've done the reviews on my other bikes, and I'll give you guys more information on the bike, the pros and cons, and also while I ride I'm gonna try to talk about the mods first on the bike, the things that I've changed. And basically number one is just the crash bars. These are the Touratech crash bars. I haven't tested them because I haven't dropped the bike, so I don't know how well they work, but they were pretty easy to install. I installed it by myself, and it took me basically 30 minutes. I mean, it took longer than that, but mainly because I didn't have all the tools that I needed, so I had to go to the store and buy some extra tools. But if I had everything that I needed, it would have taken about 30 minutes maybe. And they look pretty good. I'll do a walk around so you guys will see. The second thing that I have done is I moved the GPS mount from here to here, and I bought this really cheap adapter on Amazon, which works totally fine, and the adapter costs about $12. And I ended up cutting it. I did a ghetto setup. I cut the adapter with the drill because I didn't have the tools to cut it. The goal was basically I cut it to bring the GPS lower. So it used to be about here, now it's down here, which is much better. But I did all of that with a drill. I made another video. It's on my shorts if you guys want to check it out. You see what I did there. And I really like this position. A lot of people think that it's on my view, but my eye is up here. Okay, so you guys have an idea. Make sure there were no cars pulling out. So my eye is up here. So I gotta look down on the GPS. The camera angle might seem like the GPS is on the way, but it's not, okay? So I can see above the windscreen. The camera is lower, it's on my chin, so don't get that mistaken. Okay. So I really like this. I like the position now. It's very easy to look on the GPS, and I usually only use it like when I'm coming back from work, because it tells you even if there are debris on the road and all. So I just put the directions to home, but I don't really look at it that much unless I'm going at a place that I don't know. Then I'll glance at it every now and then. Very useful to have. And the GPS that I have is the Carpuride 5-inch screen, okay? I did not buy they have a 7-inch one, but I prefer this one just because I didn't want a huge screen taking up a lot of space here. And all I needed was just a screen to replace my phone, and my phone is not that big, so this is totally fine. I actually really like the size of this screen. Yeah, so this is the Carpuride. The link is in the description if you guys want to buy it. I have affiliate links for everything in the description, so very helpful if you guys buy from the links that I have down there. I gotta stop here. And I have been practicing my slow speeds maneuver, so it's getting better. Usually I suck at making slow turns like that and U-turns. So Carpuride, it works well. I use Android Auto. My phone is an Android. So the way I have it set up, I have my helmet Bluetooth connected to my phone, and then I connected my phone to the GPS, and so now, but then I set it to use Android Auto instead. It seems like this person doesn't really know what they're doing. Get away from this guy, because I don't know what they're doing. They're like all over the road, and now they switch to this lane. So as I was saying, I connected my headset to my phone, and then I connected my phone to the Carpuride, and then I set the Carpuride to use Android Auto for audio instead of Bluetooth. So now my phone automatically connects. When I turn on the bike, my phone automatically connects to the Carpuride via Android Auto, and then it connects to my headset via Bluetooth, so I can still hear everything that's coming through there on my headset. And yeah, it works really well. I haven't had any issues with it. I mean, time will tell, but so far so good. And the last thing that I changed on the bike is this windscreen, and that's the PUIG touring windscreen. It's the short one. Someone is getting pulled over. So it's the short windscreen with this little adapter here. It works really well for even high speeds. I don't get any buffeting. I get clean air, but I don't get any buffeting. So I'm really pleased with this screen. I had put the taller one before, the adjustable one, but I couldn't find any good position on it. Like every position that I tried on that windscreen, I kept getting weird buffeting. Ooh, okay, I gotta turn off the hand grip warmers here. Oh, it smelled so bad behind that truck. Yeah, so this windscreen works really well. This part here, the little adapter for that extra piece there, it's very bad quality, okay? So I don't know if that's gonna last, but it's very cheap. It's like it's 3D printed with some cheap plastic piece. Very, very crappy, very bad quality. And they basically charge you an extra $100 just for that, to have that extra piece there. But the extra piece actually really works. It makes the wind much cleaner, so I don't get any buffeting. So overall I'm very pleased with the extra things that I've added to this bike. And I think these are pretty much going to be all of the things that I'll add that are extra. I don't think I need to add anything else. Everything else is very comfortable. The seat is nice. I haven't had any issues. I haven't done any really, really long rides, but for all the ride that I have done so far, I have not had any issues with that comfort. Another thing that I have, which you guys don't see now, but you will see when I stop, is the top case, which is the Vario top case, and I mean it's a top case. I don't know what else I can say about it. It works as it's intended to work, right? It works really well. It's easy to attach, it's easy to remove, it's expandable, so I can, whenever I'm going out, I can just throw my backpack in there, put a couple of, like a jacket or whatever I need in there. So if I go out and it's cold, I can just throw in my jacket there when I come back if it's hot. Because usually in the Bay Area it's very cold in the morning, but then in the afternoon it's warmer. So Yeah, I love having the top case, and I can't even feel it there. Like when I'm riding, if I didn't know I had it there, I couldn't tell. So yeah, so gonna ride to the place that I usually do the reviews, and I'll give you guys more information on the bike in a little bit. Okay, so suspension. This area here, the road is really bad. And usually on every motorcycle that I rode here, even the MT-09, which was the tallest motorcycle that I've had before this one, I could feel the bumps really hard. And this bike, it just absorbs everything. So suspension is like, it's like anything. It's like I have never experienced something like this before on a motorcycle. I didn't know that this was even possible, because it's very comfortable on suspension. Like it just absorbs the bumps like they're not even there. So very pleased with the suspension. Now let's get to the little twisties here. So suspension on this bike, as I mentioned, it is probably one of my favorite things. So any of the other motorcycles that I've had, like even the MT-09, the MT-09 suspension was pretty comfortable, but compared to this bike here, it's there's no comparison. Okay, so since I was riding in that little patch there that suspension usually sucks, I thought I would maybe mention that before I even get started with the review. But that's one thing that we're gonna get out of the way already, which is the suspension. So let's get back to the spot there, and then I'll give you guys more information on the bike. Gotta be careful on this these little turns here. Even though they seem to be very smooth, there's like little gravel and sand on the road, and also they have a lot of imperfections, like dips and bumps on the turn, which if you're not careful, you might lose control and drop your bike here. It would be some really fun twists if those were not there, but since they are, you gotta ride very careful. They did fix the road here a lot, so it is getting better. Seems like looks like they're closed. That sucks. That's where I usually stop to do the reviews. Okay, I'm gonna stop at this place here, which is the same place that I stopped to review the Indian Scout. Yeah, doesn't look good. Alright, so let's try again. So I came to this spot here. I was trying to do a review there, but there's a weirdo in that truck there that kept just staring at me. Well, I'm the weird one. We're just walking around the bike and recording, but he didn't need to keep staring at me. He could have just minded his business. Alright, so here's a walk around of the bike. Probably too close and it's gonna be warped, but I have other videos with the walk around that I posted recently, so you guys can just look for that on the channel. So some of them are gonna be on my shorts. So these are the things that I've added to the motorcycle. Tour Attack crash bars, which I have not tested and hopefully don't have to. I only put them there because the bike is very tall for me and I'm 5'6", 7-ish. So I basically tiptoe the bike, and in case I drop it, you wanted to have that there for extra protection. I added the windscreen, and this is the adapter that I was talking about. So I had to cut it using a drill because I didn't have anything to cut it with, but it works. Okay, so I don't care. So let's get to the review. Sitting position. Let's first talk about sitting position on the bike. Very comfortable. My knees are bent but not behind me. They're right under me, so it's like I'm sitting in a chair. So very comfortable sitting position. My knees don't hurt so far. I haven't had any rides that I've gone on to that my knees hurt like it did on the MT-09 and the MT-07. So that's a really good sign. The suspension on the bike, as you guys have seen, is amazing. I can't say enough. I know it doesn't have inverted front forks, and some people may think that's a bad thing. It could be to some people if you're one of those people that push the bike too much. For how I ride and for my needs, it's perfect. I haven't seen any issues with it. The bike is fun on twisties, it's fun on the street, on highway. It's very comfortable. Haven't taken off-road and don't plan on doing that. I bought the bike to commute and for comfort while commuting and doing some long weekend rides. So yeah, not a problem with comfort and suspension comfort. Power delivery, it's good. Like, I thought I was gonna ride on road mode, which I like how smooth road mode is on this motorcycle. It's very, very smooth. It's not like the Indian Scout that I had. The Indian Scout, the like standard mode was smooth, but it felt very delayed. Even at slow speeds, the power delivery felt very delayed. For this motorcycle, the standard, like the road mode, is very smooth, but the problem is that at high speeds, like at 70, like a lot of people drive on the highways here at 80, 85. So if I'm passing someone, I do get that power, but I have to rev the bike very high and wait like a second or two for that power to be delivered, so it's not instant. And on dynamic mode, you get more of that power right away. So I've been just riding the motorcycle on dynamic, but I like how smooth road mode is. I haven't tested the other modes. I don't really have a need for them. Rain, I don't ride on the rain, so couldn't tell you about those. Suspension, I keep it on the 1%, so basically it has a dynamic adjustable suspension, which is electronic. So I just press a button here and it switches to one rider with luggage, one rider without luggage, two riders with luggage, and it makes the bike a little bit taller. So I keep at the lowest settings because I'm short. So one of the things that it kind of sucks is that because the suspension is higher, me being short, I gotta tiptoe the bike. So not the most confident, inspiring motorcycle when I get to certain spots. Like I gotta watch the way that I'm gonna park the motorcycle and put it on the stand to make sure that I'm able to lift the bike up and move it out of wherever I put it. Okay, so for example, right now I was gonna park at the same spot that I parked the Indian Scout to do a review, but the floor, it leans a little bit to the left. So if I put it on the stand there, the bike would lean too much to the left. And and when you put this bike on the stand, it really leans a lot if there's any imperfection on the ground. Problem with that is that me being short, when I sit on the bike feels very top heavy. Okay, so when I sit on the bike, if the bike is leaning too much to the left, I don't have enough leg length to push the bike up, and I don't have enough weight to lift the bike up with my weight. So there was one instance that I stopped at a place and a friend of mine had to help me push the bike up again. But at that place, I knew that I was not going to be able to lift the bike, and I told him, I was like, look, I'm not going to be able to lift the bike. I was like, no, it's okay, whenever we're out of here, because we stopped to take some pictures, and they said, we'll push you up. So, yeah, there's that. If you're a short rider, the bike is very top heavy, okay? Uh, and I guess that I could say that's one of the things that I don't like about it, being top heavy, but I knew about that before I even purchased the bike, okay? So, it's a trade. I mean, I traded a bike that I could flat foot, like the Indian Scout, for a motorcycle that I tiptoe, but the comfort that I get on this is on another level. Okay, so I guess that's the one thing I could say that I don't really like about the bike is that it's too tall and top heavy. It's not that it's too tall, it's actually one of the shortest adventure bikes, but I wish they made like smaller versions, like let's say like the Street Triple 765. They could use that engine and make a smaller size adventure motorcycle. It doesn't have to be full on adventure to go off road, just do something that's more accessible to small people. So, but I mean, anyway, I really like the bike. I mean, there's not much I can say negative about it. I think the one negative is that if I'm gonna be really, really picky, after owning the MT-09 with 120 horsepower, I wish this had a little bit more power. Uh, Not that it lacks any power. I feel like it has more than enough. But after you have a motorcycle with like a larger engine, you kind of wish you had that all the time, because even though you might not need or use it all the time, it's nice. Like every now and then you want to pass someone, you just touch the throttle and you get the same amount of power no matter what speeds you're on. But with this here, you still get the power. You just gotta push it a little bit harder. Uh, but I mean, I was thinking about getting the low seat, which is I kind of it would give me a little bit more confidence when you know at certain parking spots and stuff. But I feel like it would maybe make it more uncomfortable on my knee. So for now, I'm keeping the standard seat. And let's see what else. Heated grips, very nice. They get really hot if you have it on the highest settings. I usually run them on the medium to low settings when it's cold in the morning. So heated grips really nice. The dash works great. There are no delays. It turns on quick. Let's turn it on. Actually, yeah, let's not turn it on because it's gonna turn on my phone to start playing music automatically because Android Auto and I don't have my headset turned on. So, I mean, there are no delays on the dash. I'm not gonna go through all the controls and everything because I mean there are plenty of videos out there that people have shown all of this stuff. So, if you guys have seen my reviews before, they're mainly just talking about my experience riding the bike. I don't do reviews showing all of the status and like all the numbers and all that. there are plenty of videos out there showing that. So I'm basically just here to pass you guys information based on what my experience has been with the motorcycles. Okay, so the hand guards are nice. Without a good windscreen, I was getting a lot of buffeting from the hand guards on my helmet. Okay, but after I added this windscreen, which is taller than the one that comes with the motorcycle, it kind of cancels out the buffeting. So the air from the windscreen cancels out the wind from the hand guards, and I get no buffeting. So works really well. I put a quad lock here, but I don't use it that often, only when my phone is dying. I try to not keep my phone on the bike anymore for safety reasons, in case I fall and the motorcycle goes to one side and I need to call someone. I have my phone on me. Okay, so what else is there to say? I mean, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about when I'm talking about heavy. Okay, so top heavy. So if I sit on the bike and I don't have enough like leg strength, I can't push the bike up. Okay, so for me to push the bike up, I have to really like push, and then I can get the bike up. So, and I'm tiptoeing. Okay, so not the most confident and inspiring for short people, but it's doable. I mean, there are shorter people than me that ride bigger motorcycles. I'm just being very picky. Okay, so the one thing for me being short, I gotta watch where I park the motorcycle, because I don't wanna have to call for help to get the motorcycle out of wherever I parked it. Okay, let's see, let's go on a ride and then we'll talk about the riding on the motorcycle. Oh, okay, since we're riding quick shifter, it works well. I haven't used it as much as I used it as I used the quick shifter on the MT-09, but it works well. It's very similar to the one that the MT-09 had, but I can feel that this one has more of like a shift assist. And what I mean by that, it's basically like it feels like it holds the clutch when you shift down. It's kind of like it holds the clutch a bit to make it for a smoother ride, which is nice in a way, but sometimes it's not very smooth. But I don't have any complaints against it really. Honestly, it works really well. I don't use it as much. I think one of the reasons that I don't use it as much is because I actually enjoy trying to do like rev matching, and the shift assist on this motorcycle makes rev matching really easy, because I can feel that whenever I shift down, it kind of holds the clutch a little bit for me. So like if I'm shifting down here, it just shifted down without using the quick shifter, and it works really well. Shifting up too, yeah, it's very smooth. The bike is not going to be as sporty as like an MT-09, but honestly, it is sporty enough for me, for the way that I ride. As a daily commuter, as like a weekend getaway, it rides very sporty if you wanted to ride sporty. It's not as bad as I thought it would be for slow speeds. It actually makes like U-turns really well if you're doing if you lock the handlebar to the sides and then you try to just do like a slow U-turn in a parking lot. It has I can make a U-turn in like 1.5 parking spots. So it's really good for U-turns too and slow speeds. Oh, there's a duck. And city riding the motorcycle is very good. One thing that I would say, it's not even close to being as good as the MT-09, especially not as good as the MT-07 for lane filtering, which I don't mind because I rather have the comfort. Okay, so I have a comfort on this motorcycle that I was not even close. It doesn't even compare to like the MT-09 and MT-07. I think mainly because of the knee position. If the MT-09 had the same knee position as this motorcycle here, I probably wouldn't have sold that bike because I love the engine on the MT-09. But after riding that bike for like 40 minutes, I had knee pains that were just awful. Okay, and that was mainly on my left knee from having a bent leg and then be shifting gears. But if that bike had the same knee position as this bike here, which is it's not a 90 degree, but it's leaning back a little bit, but the seat is large enough for me to like scoot back and be way more comfortable, like I'm sitting in a chair. Okay, so the knee position, very very comfortable on this bike. The sitting position, I'm very upright. The brakes are decent. They're better than the Indian Scout for sure. The Indian Scout brakes were not good at all. The motorcycle felt heavy. Well, not that the motorcycle felt heavy, the brakes felt like I had to squeeze them very hard, and I had to use a lot of back brakes to stop if I wanted to do any emergency stopping. This bike here feels like at least the front brakes can do a lot of stopping power quickly. So there's a cop, and I almost ran the red light. I went on the yellow. So we're gonna use the front brake. I use a lot of engine braking to stop. And the bike is not the best at lane splitting. But it's good enough. I mean, for highway lane splitting is good, because usually on highway it's wider if you're lane splitting, but for city riding lane splitting, not as good as the MT-09 or the MT-07. The handlebars are larger and it's a little bit harder to do. Like the motorcycle is a little bit harder to do slow speed like maneuvering, right? So when you're doing lane splitting on city riding, you gotta like make sharper slow speed turns, and this motorcycle is not as good for that. But other than that, I mean, honestly, I can't say enough things about this bike. And for all of the other motorcycles that I've had, I always had something that was negative about the bike, and that I kept thinking like, I gotta change this, you know, I gotta find a solution for this if it didn't have this. But honestly, this bike, like with all the mods that I have on it now, and the way that the motorcycle rides, the comfort and everything, there's honestly nothing right now that I would say I would want to change, that I wish was different, that I don't really like about the bike. I mean, the only thing that I kind of dislike is something that I already knew before I bought the bike, which was that it was going to be top heavy and I was going to have to tiptoe on it. But that's a trade that I decided to do, that I decided to be okay with, because I I wanted the comfort that this bike offers, and it delivers what I wanted it to do. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, leave a comment. I mean, eventually I'll do a better review, put out the list like I did for the other motorcycles. So eventually I'll do like a review like I did for the other motorcycles that I've had. Just put like a list of things that I like, dislike. But I honestly, I didn't even bother doing that because there is nothing that I dislike about this motorcycle yet to say like to put a list together for you guys and be like, you know, I wish this was different on this bike. As you guys can see, it has a good amount of get up and go. Yeah, I mean, if I was gonna be really picky, I wish it had about 120 horsepower. That's pretty much about it, and I wish it was a little bit lower, like smaller for smaller people, you know. Just because it's an adventure bike, it doesn't mean it needs to go off-road, honestly. I feel like a lot of people buy adventure bikes more for just for the comfort, but I get it. I guess if you make it lower, it will take away a lot of the comfort because you got to put lower suspension. But I feel like even if this bike was like 2 inches lower, it would still be extremely comfortable. Okay, so I don't think it would make that much of a difference if it was like 2 inches lower. But it would make a very big difference for shorter people to ride it and feel more confident on it. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, wonderful night, whatever time it is that you're watching this video. Thank you guys for stopping by. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Please subscribe to help the channel. You know, use the links in the description if you want to buy any of the things that I've added to this motorcycle. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.